try to get virgins to lose their virginity to this song. So, one huge artist, if I said his name, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. Huge, Grammy Awards, everything, R&B. Went to his party, saw this person in the water in a hot tub, right? Looked like he was by himself. All of a sudden, other dude popped his head out. Area of where he just in between the lines. Oh, I didn't know that guy was gay. Didn't know that guy came in and did some weird ritual pentagram kind of thing, chanted some different things with this guy. This may be a rant with what's going on with Epstein files, Hollywood, and just things that we're seeing, and a little bit of conspiracy stuff there. People don't realize that we're all going to be shaped and molded to believe a narrative. At the end of the day, it's going to happen. And depending on who you subscribe to, whether if you use the news, it's Fox or CNN, right? If it's social media, the algorithms are just going to promote what you like to see all the time. It's hardly ever going to really put stuff on there that you don't want to see. And it's unfortunate because we're literally creating these bigger echo chambers. Therefore, we start to believe the lies with a little bit of truth, right? A lot of times for me, I like to use this analogy. Like a lot of times where both sides of the aisle have truth and they're saying some truthful things. Sometimes there's a little poop in it. And so would you eat a brownie that has just a speck of poop in it? Maybe if it just touched a little bit of poop? Probably not. And unfortunately, that's what's happening today with social media and our media. For example, Epstein files. Elon's name has been mentioned in the files. So that alone is already like, ooh, what happened? So one side of the aisle will be like sharing all this information about Epstein files and celebrities and all this stuff, put images in your face, even show Elon's image in the face, and then say Elon, among other people, is mentioned in the Epstein files, and then move on to other things. But they want you to insinuate what that means without even telling you what that means. They just associate you with all these other people like Jay-Z and maybe some other ones that have got caught already, but this trying to associate you, but they're trying to associate him with all these other people that are in there for other reasons, or you come to conclusion because you're not gonna go research it yourself and just believe what they say. So again, there's truth in that. Elon was mentioned in the Epstein files, 3 million files. However, how he was mentioned was that Epstein was trying to invite him to islands and get together, and Elon, obviously, I'm not gonna go to that. And also they never had a chance to actually meet when Epstein was trying to email him over and over, even to a point where he says, I'll send my helicopter to pick you up. But that meeting never happened. See the sleight of hand here? A lot of the media, social media journalists, right? All do the same thing. They say all this stuff. Oh, that's evil. And then they say, Elon's in the email list. It's true. But then how they frame it makes you believe that he's part of the scandal. Well, they do that with everything. They do it also on the right side of the aisle. So left and right. So it's really hard to find out what the truth is. You have to actually do your due diligence and research to see what is true. But I wanted to give you a little bit more insight into Hollywood, into Epstein files, into all these things. And it's coming from a person that tasted a little bit of Hollywood back in the day and knowing people in that world. And one last thing I'll say is sometimes there's extreme on the right and there's extreme on the left. Sometimes there's truth in the tension in the middle. Maybe it's not so extreme, but where there's smoke, there's fire. There's definitely smoke. Gotta find where the fire is, right? And it's hard to do that. Us, Generation X, we had the ability to search things and find the truth a lot easier. But in today's world, it's hard to find the truth. because these big media companies and big application companies are owned by self-interest, special interest people. They would suppress messages or just change algorithms so they can continue on their narrative of what they want you to believe. And they understand that, hey, if you're a left-wing liberal Democrat, they know what to feed you. And if you're a right-wing conservative Republican, they know what to feed you and get you hyped up. Like it is going on before our eyes. They are controlling the narrative. It's a little bit of history about me being in Hollywood, and cannot mention their names and the sources that I have because I never asked them permission that I can share that. So I'm not going to do that. But I will also say these are all allegations. Okay, these are all things that you hear about from credible people saying that, hey, we saw this happen. These are all people that are a part of these organizations, on the team, close proximity to the person I'm going to mention. Like, these are people that know. Let me share some stories that I heard about some of these celebrities. Now, I can't even mention the celebrities because I don't know if they're going to sue me or do whatever. So I'll have to even be careful with that. I'll talk in code, hopefully. But I wanted to share this because, again, it's important to understand that there is a realm, there's a spiritual realm, and there is a principality that's over our world, our countries, our states, and they want to perpetuate evil. And we're seeing it all over. They're not even hiding it anymore. I mean, me growing up, they're hiding it. You had to go to like certain places to access it. Now it's just in front of your face. You don't have to try to look for it. So one huge artist, if I said his name, you would know exactly who I'm talking about. Huge Grammy Awards, everything, R&B. And friend was on the set of one of his music videos and singing, and all of a sudden he stopped the set. Stop, cut. Not feeling it. Hold on. Witch came in and did some weird ritual pentagram kind of thing, chanted some different things with this guy. And a few minutes later, he says, all right, I'm ready. Boom. He ends up continuing on. Okay? That actually happened. Do what you want with that. And if I said that person's name, he is one of the biggest R&B singers, talented, could sing really good, right? That happened. Another story. Okay, this is straight from the artist's mouth, and I think he probably even gives testimony. Boy band from my generation had a song, and their goal with this song was to try to get virgins to lose their virginity to this song. Okay, they went on tour, sang the song, and he said that countless, if not hundreds of girls will come to him and tell him, I lost my virginity to that song. Yes, this story came out because this guy actually became a Christian. And he had all kinds, I don't care what you believe or don't believe about demon possession, demon influence, being demonized. I think the new word now is being demonized, because if God owns you, then a demon can't possess you. Whatever you want to call it, this dude had demons in him. He testified and said that tons of demons came out of him in his deliverance of coming to Christ. Okay? I have a friend that knows him personally and got this story. I might have some nuances here and there that's off, but let's create this song. Let's have girls lose their virginity to this song, and then it manifests so. Okay? That's just one song. Think of the millions of songs that are out there, if not demonized, but influence, create music, shift culture. Okay? This was in the 90s, guys. 90s. Where are we at today? It's a lot worse than what happened in the 90s. And so another artist, okay? Another one. A friend of mine was in Celebrity House and party. He was a famous guy, got in trouble by the law, prison. Went to his party, saw this person in the water in a hot tub. right? He looked like he was by himself. All of a sudden, other dude popped his head out. Area of where just in between the lines. Oh, I didn't know that guy was gay. I didn't know that guy swung that way because all his music, how he present himself, he's married, has kids, is this image that did not remotely come close to him being that. And this guy is one of the top famous people. Early on, I don't know if they do this anymore, but one of the major companies that own most of the music rights now, said it, you'll know, company that does not only do music, but they also do electronics and other stuff, speakers and stuff like that. So reading between the lines. This is literally verified things that would happen in the 90s. That's when I grew up, in the 90s, okay? In the early 2000s. Okay? Verified. It's not, again, I have sources, cannot say. Verified that the leaders of said company, okay, back in the day, now it's a little different, right? Back in the day when they took the record, right? They took the master record. They would take their master record, they would have witches come and curse this record, okay? Curse this record in the bottom of the headquarters. There was this basement, this place where they would literally take the master record, because back then you couldn't just, put your music on Spotify or iTunes and everyone can download it. They had to master the record, because from that record, they're about to produce all the copies of all the ones that they're going to sell from that master. It's almost like the cornerstone, right? The whole pyramids. The cornerstone, they would match all the stones to that cornerstone, and then it becomes the capstone. So the cornerstone that they match all the rock, all the stones to, or rather the bricks, if you will, they would take that cornerstone, and if they did it right, it would put it on the very top of the pyramid and it would be perfect. Okay, that's how they would do these pyramids, right? So it had to be perfect so they can replicate it the way they want it, right? Same concept. The master record was the record that they cursed so that they could put a curse on people, all that bought it. Okay, this is not conspiracy. This is, again, verified sources. Verified sources. And if you're not a Christian, this might be, hocus pocus, what boogeyman stuff. Fine, don't listen to this video. That's fine. I'm just letting you know that the information, do what you want. For Christians that believe that there is a spiritual world going on, we know things happen. And the witches, and whatever they call them, they come out getting delivered from witchcraft and they start speaking about this stuff. It's such hard to find these days because we didn't have social media then, but we had YouTube. The reason why I'm telling you this is please just hang in there. I just got to tell you these stories. Just hang in there. So as Christians, this is definitely important for us because we need to know what is happening in this world and why we keep falling and falling. An enemy unidentified cannot be conquered. So these Epstein files, these Hollywood stories are finally coming out. This is just what's being able to come out, and they cannot hide it anymore. And what was considered conspiracy, what was considered something, no way, that's going to happen or that happened, whatever, is now becoming real. And now I don't believe everything that's being said about the Epstein files. Again, knowing some people in this space, affirming that some of these stories are accurate, telling you, world that you think you see is not what you see. It's almost like the Matrix movie, right? You put on the glasses. You got to go into the Matrix. Like, it's literally like that. And what's happening both on the left and on the right, and in Hollywood and everywhere, they're all starting to get exposed. And they cannot. There's so many holes. They can't hide it anymore. That's probably why they're now more open about it, to be honest, right? In certain areas. But they can't hide it all. So things are just leaking left and right because people are turning to God and they're finally whistleblowing. They're finally coming to the table and saying this happens. So my hope is that this video will tell those people, start exposing the stuff that you've seen growing up in the 90s, in the early 2000s, if you were in the Hollywood space, start sharing this information. If you're tired of seeing this world as corrupt as it is, if you're tired of seeing the fighting and the love not being there, it's because we allowed all this stuff to happen. Stay silent. For me, I didn't stay silent. You were close to me. If you were my friend, I've lost relationships, guys. I've lost relationships from sharing information that I know because people wanted to protect, oh, that's not true, or that guy doesn't do that. Right? And I'm talking about in the secular world. I haven't talked about the Christian world. There's stuff that I know what's going on in the Christian world that is nuts. And it's starting to get exposed. Right? And so for me, the goal with this, again, is to people start speaking out, giving their testimony of what happened so that we can awaken people from this entertainment world of being entertained by whatever spirit's over them because they continue to subscribe to the music, continue to be subscribed to these things. Now, do they do that now? I don't know, right? But some of the information is still out there. You can still find a lot of ex-witches and warlocks, whatever they call themselves, testifying, saying, I am a Christian now, and this is what we did. The algorithm is just not going to throw it at you. You got to go look for it. It's out there. That if we continue to be blind, my people suffer for a lack of knowledge. If we continue to be blind, and you say, well, I don't want to look at that stuff, I'm okay. Then you will potentially be entertaining the wrong spirits. And so I'm telling you, I could share more stories with you about what I heard about things. And some of them is like, okay, I heard about it. It's like 4 or 5 witnesses down. I don't know. But the stuff that's coming out doesn't shock me because I knew about these crazy, sick cult, witchcraft, demonic things that happen. Just in acting. In acting, they would teach you to how to conjure up the spirit of who you're acting. Whether alive or dead, they would do rituals in witchcraft, right? Read this book called The Book of the Law by Aleister Crowley. Think what you think about this book, but there's been famous celebrities quoting it out in the open about this book, saying it was a great book. And a lot of celebrities got their teachings and understanding about the darkness from this book, and they apply it and use it in their music. Do what you want. It's in your music. The way I see it is like this. Think about American football. Think about you see the lineman in front of you, and you're the quarterback. When I watched the game, and I only knew this because somebody taught me this, but before, when I watched games, I just saw a play, and I saw, hey, these guys are running, they're throwing the ball, and yeah, that's it. Before I knew this, I watched a football game, and I didn't understand what the defense was doing or even how the offensive line is set up or the defensive line. I didn't see this at all. I just saw, okay, once someone opened my eyes to how to read the game, I was like, poof, and I couldn't unsee it anymore. And I was able to see it. There's something called the box in football, and a quarterback sees how many men are in the box, and he'll know if there's a blitz or a zone defense or a man-to-man. He knows what the defense is going to do depending on how many men are in that box. Obviously, there's nuances for that. But at the end of the day, once they show me that, now every single game, I can tell if there's a blitz coming or what kind of play they're probably going to run based off of just that little information. So it made the game more enjoyable. Now imagine the spiritual realm. Imagine what's going on in front of you. Imagine when you see your child struggling with things. You're like, man, what's going on? Open your eyes to see what's really going on. Then you can stop blaming your child for acting a fool and start trying to protect them from accessing things they shouldn't be accessing. So if I were you, I'll start looking to what kind of music are you allowing your children to listen to? What are you listening to? What artists are you supporting? Because they have an agenda. Does every single artist have an agenda? Probably not. However, powers that be, as you can see, ones that are being exposed, who do control the music, who do control the artists, they do have an agenda. If you can't tell by watching the Grammy Awards, if you can't tell by what's about to happen in the Super Bowl, you can't tell from all these places, then you just want to be blind. Word of God talks about our war is not in flesh and blood, but of the Spirit. But a lot of us are just doing this, blindly going, thinking we're winning wars or fine. Why is this happening to my family? Why did my kids do this? Why am I having these desires? What? You need to open your eyes. You need to start looking at things. It's only going to get worse, and you will continue to deceive, and you won't see it. Two things. One, there's stories, guys. We have to get them out so we can help people not be influenced by this evil. Number two, you're that person that listens to those things, maybe time to stop. Or at least ask God, what music do I need to stop listening to because of the spirit behind it? That's just in music. Then you got movies. I'm going to talk about that. Just talking about the music entertainment industry. Again, there's tons of other stories I can share with you. I'm not going to do that. But I wanted to say, guys, of course, there's a lot of conspiracies, far left, far right, all that stuff. I get it. But there's a lot of truth to a lot of things that are happening. Little by little, continue to be exposed. So instead of closing your eyes and covering your ears, be vigilant. Start to understand there is light and darkness. We would be fools to believe that those two things are not at war with what's going on in your mind. Don't want to help the enemy win. So wake up, a little bit of research, start to see, oh my gosh, I see how many people are in that box. I see what's really going on here. I need to protect my family. It's your number one priority is to protect your family, all the filth that's out there. What do you guys think? Do you guys have stories? Put it down in the comments below. Again, it's nuts out there, and it's finally getting exposed. And you can call me whatever you want. It's not going to hurt my feelings. Oh, Daniel, there's not this, that. Okay, whatever. Look at your news cycles. Can't hide it anymore, right? Things are coming out. Whistleblowers, like it's starting to come out. They're saying otherwise. There is things going on. Protect your house. Turn to Jesus. He will help you through all things. Aloha.